Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy DJ. Welcome to the Rusty Banana Show. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at the Rusty Banana Show.
What's up, guys? I'm Demo. Follow me on Twitter at ColdenMerc.
Hey, it's Booby Beckham. Follow me at Heavy is the D. Twitter. Let's get it. Let's do it.
Right on, part 3. Rolling, guys.
AFC West.
AFC West.
We out there with the Cowboys. Not like the real Cowboys, but you know the old Western. Let's do it.
Let's confuse everyone. Anyways, AFC West. Who do you got winning?
I got the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oof.
Now, I'm thinking about overall team talent. I like the Chargers. You know, I got them coming in a second. Phillip Rivers only got sacked 18 times last year. That's leading the league in, like, least of sacks. So they got a good offensive line in place there. Melvin Gordon. They got a good team, a solid team. But, I mean, when you think about dynamic talent, Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt, Pat Mahomes has a killer arm. I like what they did. Sammy Watkins is an upgraded receiver. They never had a receiver like that. I mean, they had Tyreek Hill. Now you got two guys.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy Watkins and Tyreek
they're dangerous.
Hill. Oh, my goodness. Like
Travis Kelce, too.
Exactly. How can I go against that? Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt in the backfield.
Yeah, they're not going to be fun to play against.
Well, so because their offense is so dynamic, look at the draft picks. They got a couple tackles. They got a linebacker, safety, cornerback. They were really able to focus on the other side of the ball because their offense is so set right now. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they're one of the more complete teams. I don't have them as a number one, but I can see where they can definitely do some damage in that division and possibly scare some people on the way up.
Who you got one?
So nobody's gonna like this, but it was a tie. But
Casey Keenum.
I got Denver. So
predicted it.
Keenum came off a really good year. He's a veteran quarterback that has some success. That's played in a winning organization, a winning locker room. And what they really did was they kind of went back to that 2015 mentality. They really invested in their defense. They're really invested in trying to win that turnover margin, give Casey Keenum more than just, a couple chances to go get out there and put the ball in the end zone. And the more chances you give him, the more successful he's going to be, as is any quarterback. And I think coming off last year's momentum, I think he deserves the benefit of the doubt as basically being a missing piece for that team. Now, I'm not really sold offensively just because they don't have the best receiver core.
That's my problem with them, too.
And but
they got a good receiver core.
It's great. I mean, it's good, but it's not great.
I mean, they just drafted Cortland Sutton, so that was a great pick.
They did.
You got Emmanuel Sanders.
Could be a steal.
That wasn't even necessary. They already had Emmanuel Sanders, Demaryius Thomas, so they had a good draft with Bradley Chubb. You're gonna have Von Miller, Knight. It's a killer defense.
I'm glad they went and got a couple wide receivers. They're not. I don't think other than maybe Sutton. I'm not really sold on the other ones.
Demaryius Thomas?
I'm talking about out of the draft class.
I mean, they only drafted one receiver that's really going to change anything for that team.
I mean,
they
drafted
they got a running back.
They drafted a couple,
Freeman, so he's going pretty good.
And they got a tight end. They're trying to see if some of the back end of the draft had some, diamonds in the rough, and see if maybe Casey Keenum, with his experience playing with Thielen and Dalvin Cook and Martavius Bryant, playing with some of those good, offensive pieces out in Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, trying to see if maybe he can give them pointers and bring out that full potential. Because like I said in one of our earlier shows, wide receivers and running backs, a lot of their worth is based on their athletic ability right there at that point. There are some techniques for every position you can learn later on in your career, but your athleticism is one of your greatest weapons, and you really need those pointers to be very good right in the beginning, because the older you get, it's going to go all downhill.
Okay. I like this division because you got to do a little bit of math in it, and it's a tough division.
It's very competitive amongst themselves.
Now, a lot of good
rivalries.
rivalry.
The AFC as a splash, they haven't done so well, but they're definitely competitive within themselves.
Yeah, I mean, so DJ set the table with the Chiefs' offense, right? I think they're the strongest. It's not even a question, right? But
Denver won't be able to cover.
Huh?
Denver won't be able to cover.
Well, you look at somebody like the Chargers, they're a little bit more balanced. They got a good defense, and they got an offense that you don't really want to see every week.
That is
right?
true. I had them as my number 3.
Who, the Chargers?
Yeah.
I got them moving up a little bit.
Because it's up in the air with Denver and Kansas City. If it's not Kansas City, it's going to be Denver. It's not Denver, it's going to be Kansas City. The thing about the Chargers is the Chargers has always been a true 8-8 team that's only been eaten off a division that took so long to develop. Before Kansas City was the team they are today, the last 3 or 4 years, they were nobodies. They had Matt Castle as their starting quarterback. Okay, Oakland, they had Jamarcus Russell. They had a string of. They were almost as bad as Cleveland when they came to developing the team before they got Derek Carr. So, and then Denver. Denver has always been like that. Oh, is it gonna be this year that they get their stuff together? No, they've been up and down. So they were eating off of just being okay on both sides. Now that you have teams that are dynamic on one side and okay on the other, it's almost like being good on just both sides isn't good enough. You need to be great,
Which is funny.
And I don't think they're great.
So they might not be great, and this might not be their year, but they definitely did something in the offseason that I'd say they got better than some other teams. Okay. I like their draft better than the Chiefs. I definitely like their draft better than
safeties.
Oakland.
They got one of the best safeties in the Big 12 with White.
Mm-hmm.
Then they got Derwin James in the first round.
Who
so they're going to have, and they already had a safety in place that was great. So they're probably going to have the best safety combo in the league, possibly.
And now here's the deal: we were talking about Seattle being so good. That coordinator that put that all together, he's their head coach now. He knows what to do with 3 safeties like that. He knows how to work this defense.
Well, true, but if you look at that draft, they didn't start getting offensive pieces to help out Phillip Rivers until like the end of the draft.
Do you really
need offensive pieces?
So you didn't really get the best. I mean, like I said.
Do you really need to?
Yes.
Not when Derwin James is on the board. Not when Uchenna Nwosu is on the board. I think they took players. I don't think they went like, do we go offense here? Do we go defense here? Do we go kicker here? They were he's on there. Take him.
So when you have quarterbacks that can do the most with nothing, Alex A-Rod is like your number one, right? He's been one of more. Him and Tom Brady are the 2 most successful quarterbacks with like mediocre pieces around them, right?
Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning can
Reggie
make
Wayne,
it look good.
I don't know. He's had Harrison, Ajayi,
Ajayi,
Clark.
He's good.
Joseph Ajayi, man.
Anyway.
So Peyton Manning has been blessed to have some pieces. Phillip Rivers has had some pieces. He's had Darren Sproles, Antonio Gates, LT. I don't think they've ever got him a pure wide receiver.
Bro, they got Keenan Allen. What are you talking about?
Keenan Allen's what, top 40? He's not.
He was comeback player of the year last year.
Are you crazy?
Overall as a career, he had a good season.
Now.
He had a good season, but I'm talking about overall as a career.
3 good seasons.
Keenan Allen
he hasn't been in the league that long.
Is a wide receiver 1.
Okay.
He's got a wide receiver 1.
I thought it was a 2, but
now, if you want to look at what else does he have? All right, Gates retired. Hunter Henry's not anything to sneeze at either. Hunter Henry's pretty good. Would I've been pissed if they didn't get a wide receiver with their next pick? No, I like what they do on offense because they got a running game too. And Phillip Rivers as a quarterback, like you're talking about, he makes them better. I mean, I have no problem with trotting him out there every week.
For somebody with as many game-winning drives and hasn't had the best receiving core, I would think toward the end of his career, like they did Eli Manning, they would invest more in making sure that he can be part of one of the better offenses. Because
like he said, he was the least sacked.
I would take the Chargers offense over Denver's any day.
Yeah,
I'm not giving you wrong with that.
No. Let's go back to what he was one of the least sacked, right? They're investing in his line. Like his
line was already set.
They're good. And what I'm trying to tell you is now, talking about the Chiefs offense, like, okay, yeah, they tear people up. I'm saying somebody like the Chargers now, their defense could probably hang with them a little bit longer now. They're doing good. They could probably do something.
So think about this, right? They didn't really start getting going to the end of the season.
Who?
The Chargers. They were lucky to play.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They were lucky
starters.
They were very lucky to play Dallas at the time they played Dallas. Like if they played Dallas early in the season, that would have been a loss. So they got lucky toward the end of the season playing teams that were kind of like struggling to get in the playoffs, or we're trying to like, it's like either we win or we out, and they were like eating off of that because they were eating off of teams that were like wasn't clear cut the better team. He was the least sacked, right? So your offensive line is straight. But they were like middle of the pack in offense overall. So what that means is for as many chances you have and for as much time you have in the pocket, you're not that successful. Why is that? Because these people you're talking about are the weapons he has. And if he's the least sacked and he's not delivering the ball and they're not the top-notch offense, to me that means they need some upgrades. They need some investments. And that's what I'm saying. I understand the defensive side of the ball. The AFC West is starting to turn into a defensive powerhouse division. Kansas City put almost all of their draft picks into their defense. Denver put a lot of their draft picks, if not all, into their defense. So with that being said, for you to go out there and perform against these secondaries that they're building, you're going to need some weapons. And the weapons that, in my opinion, better than the ones he has.
If we're talking about secondary,
especially because he's looking at the end of his career. If you go look at Drew Brees.
Every weapon they had performed. Every weapon on the Chargers that they had performed.
Go look at Drew Brees, right? He has a better offense. Go look at New York now. New York has a better offense. And these are aging quarterbacks.
Two teams in the
that
whole
are
NFL,
in this
32 teams. Every team
Drew
is not
Brees
the same.
and Eli Manning are not they're the same age.
We're talking about within the division.
I get that. But what I'm saying is this man is coming up on retirement. This is your only chance to get him a ring. He does not have a ring. Give him weapons. That's all I'm saying.
So what we're saying is we think that he has weapons. When you look at the rest of this
enough
division,
to win a Super Bowl right now?
When you look at the rest of this,
because he has to get out of this division to win the Super Bowl.
Hold on.
Bro,
when you look at the rest of this division,
Keenan Allen is the best receiver in that division. You say he was top 40.
When you look at the rest of this division, you're right. They're all kind of doing the same thing, but they're doing it at different times. They're all at different stages. Right now, the Chargers have the best secondary. They have the best wide receiver. They have one of the best quarterbacks. You look at the Broncos, they have the best front seven. Their front seven will kill you, but they don't have the best quarterback. They might not. They don't have the best running back. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all kind of mixed up. I like the Chargers. They look more balanced than the rest of them. You see what I'm saying? Okay. The Raiders aren't really beating anybody in anything.
Well, I think we all can agree the Raiders are last.
10-year contract.
Raiders are last.
There you go.
The Raiders are last.
I want to go balance this year. I'm going Chargers. Last year, I want to go offense. Kansas City. You know what I mean? Like
got
last
Chargers
year,
winning the division?
huh? I got the Chargers winning. This is the year. But it's close.
I would rather side with Booby and say Denver will win the division for the Chargers do.
Denver.
I have Kansas City. I mean, the Chargers finishing second.
Yeah.
And I have Kansas City finishing first. But if you're talking about winning the division,
Makes sense.
I don't see them winning the division.
It makes sense. I know I'm going out on a limb here. I like how
they have a good team. Let's not forget they had a good season last year.
Yeah, the slow start that he's talking about, I mean, it's one of the weirdest things you'll ever read about. They lost a lot of games because they couldn't kick. You know?
Yeah.
Like they did enough on offense, they did enough on defense, and their kicker just lost the game. You know? Maybe that won't happen this year. What if they kick right? You know, like we'll see.
We'll see.
But
I'm just not putting I'm just not putting my faith in Denver right now. Like Case Keenum.
I want to see that offense
I want
gel
to see
a little
more.
bit. Yeah.
Like you had how many quarterbacks? What number quarterback are you on now? 4 or 5?
Yeah.
Is it the
you are.
quarterback?
He's
or
not a
is the system?
he's a win now solution. It's the same thing with Peyton Manning. He's a win now solution. He was the best you was gonna get right then, because I'm still surprised that Kirk Cousins didn't go to Denver. I felt like that would have been a very nice team for him to go to. But Minnesota is way better. Minnesota.
So you're surprised.
Comparable.
Because I would have went to Minnesota over Denver too.
Quick, guaranteed too.
I know, but
Right.
because it's my division, I was hoping he was gonna go for Denver.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want him in my division. I wanted Minnesota to struggle at quarterback because then I can clear cut say that Lions have a shot at winning that division. So, but that's a little bit later. But back to the AFC, I got Denver, Kansas City, then Chargers. Obviously, I think we all agree that Oakland is last. I think Oakland is still trying to build. I think with John Gruden is trying to use his charisma and some of the back end connections he has, being on the journalism side for all these years, trying to get the inside scoop on some of these players in the collegiate level and trying to put together a game plan to build this team over the next 2-3 years. If anybody knows that it takes time and it takes luck to build these teams, it's John Gruden. He's been out as a coach. He's been watching the game from the outside. Name somebody who has a better relationship with the draft class every year besides John Gruden. Who do these quarterbacks come through to watch film with, to learn, to see what the NFL's like and what they're going to expect from them? They go through John Gruden. And he obviously believes that Derek Carr is the quarterback.
Well, I'm going to stop you right there. So that's something that can hurt him.
How?
Because Derek Carr is all you got. You can't just throw away Derek Carr now. Because, yeah, he had a good relationship with these draft picks. But if he didn't like them, he told you, right?
Yeah.
All right. And if you don't like Derek Carr,
he told Derek
you're stuck with Derek Carr.
But what I'm saying, he told Derek Carr that I need more from you. What you're doing out here isn't the best you can do, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And John Gruden, every year for the last, 5 or 6 years, almost a decade, I think, since I've been alive, I've seen John Gruden go from draft class to picking apart these quarterbacks. Who's going to be successful? Who's not? What their strengths are? What their weaknesses? And he's done that for almost, and not just at the quarterback level. Quarterback is obviously like his most knowledgeable position.
Quarterback camp.
But bro, we're talking wide receiver, cornerback, lineman. He can pick apart every player from the smallest technique down to the most mainstream thing you need to do to be successful.
By the time he gets an organization,
and he's going to come in fourth this year.
So I mean, of course he's coming in fourth, but that's
college.
But he comes in, he cleans house.
Can't do that. It's not college.
You
don't have time to be getting rid of good players.
He's traded a lot of youth for veterans.
You know how I know I'm right? Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll came from the collegiate level. He knows how to scout talent because he's been at collegiate level for God knows how long.
And name those players that he kicked out. That was really important.
He came in and he drafted. Oh, look at all the players he drafted.
He did draft.
Yes, because
he's not getting rid of guys because of character issues, blah, blah, blah. This is not college. You're not just cutting players because, I don't like this guy.
Who did he cut?
They cut the punter. They got rid of Crabtree. They got rid of Crabtree.
Come on.
Oh, you're talking about the Raiders?
Yeah.
You know
cut the punter?
You know Crabtree had to go. You know Crabtree had to go.
Because when Amari Cooper, your number one receiver, wasn't performing, who was performing? Crabtree.
But he's your number two receiver. He's not at the level he used to be. And he's going to cost them too much money.
He actually wasn't the number 2 receiver last year. He was the number 1 receiver.
Because Amari Cooper got suspended a couple times. And he was
No,
he
didn't get suspended.
He dropped a lot of balls.
He dropped a lot of. He didn't perform. Is what happened. So what I'm saying about it with John Gruden, all right, you cut Crabtree, who did perform,
but he's going to cost
at a high level.
But he's costing him money. He was going to have to re-sign him for a lot more money he can afford.
Jordy Nelson is now costing you money. Jordy Nelson is 33 years old and he's costing you money.
Wait, how much do they have Jordy Nelson for? What, like $8 million?
Okay, how much did you have Crabtree for?
Wasn't it like 10, 12? That's like $4 million almost.
You're trading youth for Jordy Nelson. You know what I mean? Like
about the same he's getting now, $7 million.
We could get in the weeds. We could get on the weeds on what the Raiders did in the offseason.
I am pretty confident that they probably saved a good $3 to $4 million with Jordy Nelson.
He got the exact same contract.
Really? The exact same.
Same number. It wasn't really a save.
I'm pretty sure that he is putting all his eggs in Amari Cooper basket. And now Jordy Nelson. The Martavis Bryant thing, that probably is going to help him.
Exactly.
With you. But
and they got him for a cheaper price because his value was a little bit devalued by the way they handled him in Pittsburgh.
There goes the round.
John Gruden, you're going to finish last in the division this year, probably last in the division next year, probably last in the division after that. By the time you start,
I say 2 years. I say from 2 years from now, if they not win the division, I'll be surprised.
By the time you start making way in your division, you're going to move to number 3, number 2, and then people going to start wondering like how long is this rebuild going to take?
This is a competitive
because Kansas City just got younger.
2 years tops.
Denver just got younger.
2 years tops.
Bro, who are you going to take over?
2 years tops. I mean, I've seen this dude win the Super Bowl with the team the first year up.
This is a new NFL, new league. How long has it been since he coached?
Let's see how he adapts.
I'm saying I think he's a very good judge of talent.
How long has it been since he coached?
Okay, coaching is all about technique. It's all about putting your best players out there. But when it comes to grading talent, you're not saying that he's not one of the best out there?
I didn't say nothing about his talent evaluation.
But that's how
long has it been since he's been a coach?
But the thing is, he's so involved with the players behind the scenes that I think
Kansas City just got younger. Denver just got younger.
Amen.
Chargers are looking solid.
Where are you going to go?
I'm saying this is all this year. I'm saying and upcoming, yeah, we'll see this season how well he does against these teams. Because if we're wrong and he moves upward, his timeline is going to be even faster.
I won't be wrong. At me.
Give me Chargers, Chiefs, Broncos, Raiders.
And I got Broncos, Kansas City, LA, Oakland. What you got?
Yeah, I'm taking Kansas City, Chargers, Denver, Oakland. But as I said before, if anybody's going to win a division, I don't think the Chargers have a chance of winning the division. I think Kansas City or Denver will win the division. But Denver, you guys not ready.
And tune in down the road. These are just division rankings now. We'll do power rankings. We'll do like wild cards and stuff.
It's not final. You know, it's what we think post draft. Plenty of news.
This is all on paper.
But,
probably, I think midway through the season, I think we'll do this again just to see how right we were, where our picks are. And then, obviously, in the postseason, we'll see if we was right.
Bro, I'm not going to let you sleep. I'm going to do it while the game's on. I'm like, oh, do you remember when you said that Jordan Nelson?
That goes both ways. That goes both ways, bro. Both ways.
Oh, you just get hurt?
It goes both ways. Things happen. So, let us know, man.
AFC
YouTube.
West looks good. I like them. Yeah.
YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let us know.
Yeah, hit us up. Thanks,
Hey,
guys.
for every division we've done, give us your own rankings. Let us know who you think. It was a little bit too harsh on your favorite teams, or was we not critical enough? I think John Gruden is a great judge of talent. I think he's something this organization needs. Let us know if you think the opposite. Some people think he's washed up. You should have stayed. Stayed on the other side. Let's go.
Chargers, I got you. What's up, LA? All right, guys.